All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Ballot. And today we're going to do kind of a fun video break a little bit from the serious electoral analysis to do something kind of fun. And so let's just get right into it. It's going to be an election between Batman and Superman to see who would win the election. So first we'll start with the safe states, and the safe states are going to be defined as the states that obviously have Batman or Superman as their favorite hero. And so we see that for Batman, it is a lot of the Rust Belt here, including New York, Massachusetts, West Virginia, Oklahoma, and Hawaii, I believe, as well as Nevada. We'll also add on to that. So those are the safe states for Batman. So he starts with a solid 114 electoral votes. Let's take a look at Superman. Superman definitely starts in a weaker position. He's going to have just 19 electoral votes to start with. And so these are the safe states for each candidate. So obviously Batman has an early lead with 114 over 19. So let's take a look at some of these other states. So looking at the other states' favorite superheroes, I would say that probably that Batman has a greater appeal with sort of the darker, more masculine kind of the superheroes, right? And so I don't think Batman has as much appeal to women as a Superman does. And so if we look at somebody like Wolverine, obviously darker, more masculine kind of superhero, so we will give Alabama and Montana to Batman. Now let's take a look at Captain Marvel. Well, Captain Marvel isn't as masculine, also shares in a lot of ways more powers with Superman. So I feel that'd be more of an appeal to Superman. So we will give Delaware and Rhode Island to Superman. Let's come over here again. I think I'm holding off on Spider-Man right now because I actually think he falls right in the middle, and then that could go either way. That's going to take deeper analysis. But let's go through here. So Wonder Woman, feel like, again, that would go to Superman. And so we'll give Maine and Vermont to Superman. I also feel that Captain America would go to Superman because Superman has this very patriotic sort of vibe, and Captain America shares that. So we'll get that to Superman. Alaska to Superman. And then what's left is Iron Man. Well, Iron Man, obviously, Tony Stark is another billionaire. Iron Man, more masculine. We'll give that to Batman. And Black Panther, let me come down here and see where Black Panther ended up being a favorite in Oregon. And so we will give that to Batman as well. Okay, and that is the state of our map so far. So obviously Batman leads with 140 electoral votes to 36. So we sort of talked about how Superman has a very patriotic vibe. And I'd say the rest of these states are sort of toss up because a lot of them, most of them, or all of them, favor Spider-Man. Aquaman is also an interesting case. I would probably give Aquaman states to Batman, even though they're going to be a little closer. So 149 to 36. But now we fill in the patriotic, the really patriotic states that you think about. So generally, that's more conservative states actually that would be going to Superman. So we will give him Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Missouri, South Dakota, all of Nebraska except for the second district, South Carolina, Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio, and Utah. So after that, after we fill in the sort of those patriotic states, we see Superman has increased his electoral vote count to 199 to Batman's 149. But let's take a look at some of the states that Batman might do good in. So Batman, obviously a billionaire, very high tech. And so a lot of places where we see rich industry, high tech people are, of course, California, Washington, Connecticut, even Virginia and Maryland. I would throw in there as well. And so these are the states that we are left with: Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Georgia, North Carolina, New Jersey, New Hampshire. I would probably throw, actually, New Hampshire is sort of that wealthy, high-tech crowd as well. A lot of college-educated people there that I feel like would go for Batman. So what we're left with is New Jersey, North Carolina, Georgia, Illinois, Colorado, and Arizona. DC, I feel like, would safely go to Superman. Capital, I feel like I would go to Superman. So that brings the electoral vote count to 249 to 202 in Batman's favor. So taking a look at these other states, well, what do they have? Well, Illinois has a huge crime problem in that Chicago area, we know, and obviously both are superheroes and would fight crime. But I feel like the people of Chicago would support sort of a vigilante. They don't like the bureaucracy. They don't like government, going through a bunch of bureaucratic nonsense and systems to solve crime. They just want it solved and they want their communities fixed. And so I feel like that would go more towards Batman, and Batman would take Illinois. Superman, I think, though, would take Arizona. Arizona obviously has a lot of Hispanic people, has a lot of immigrants, a lot of people that sort of view America as a new hope for them to build a better life. Superman kind of has that same kind of vibe. And I would also include probably Colorado in there as well for the same reason. And so that leaves Nebraska's second district, New Jersey, North Carolina, and Georgia. And I feel like, the rest of Nebraska is going to Superman. I feel like there's not enough sort of tech in Nebraska's second district. Like, it's going to be closer. It's going to be very close, but I would actually give that probably still to Superman, but by a lower margin than I would Batman. I also feel like the influence in the southern area for Superman would garner him a win in both North Carolina and Georgia. sort of filling out that area with Alabama being an outlier. And so that all leaves it up to New Jersey. And this is very interesting because obviously you see Batman with sort of a control of that Rust Belt area, the New England area with Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, obviously. But you do see some influence of Superman in that region as well. Of course, with Delaware, and then further northeast with Vermont and Maine. I feel like, though, there's too much influence of Batman in there. Atlantic City needs to be cleaned up. And I feel like in similar ways as Chicago, New Jersey would kind of view Batman positively in that vigilante light, taking care of crime in that way. I think also, that there's also wealthy areas of New Jersey that would support Bruce Wayne's billionaire status. And there's just sort of a grunge appeal to Batman among the working class that I feel like would fill out well in New Jersey. And so I think it'd be very close, but I think New Jersey would go to Batman. And so that is the end result of the election. Batman would win in an election against Superman, 282 electoral votes to 256. I think it'd be a close battle, and it would come down to those states that have sort of marked us swing states: Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Georgia, North Carolina, New Hampshire, New Jersey, especially sort of New Jersey, North Carolina, and Georgia. I feel like those are tough calls, but if I had to make a selection, that is what I would go with. Is Georgia and North Carolina narrowly go to Superman, and New Jersey narrowly goes to Batman, with enough for him to win that election. So, guys, let me know if you agree with my analysis that Batman would win in an election against Superman. And if you like videos like this, obviously they're fun to do. They're a break from the serious electoral analysis that we do here on this channel. And so they're just kind of fun. And if you want to see something else like it, certainly comment with your ideas, and I will go through them. But this is the map for Batman versus Superman. Let me know if you agree, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.